please feel free to come on and ask any questions. But let's get started. So welcome to our Monday night motivation evening. December, oh my God, just cannot believe how quick this year is going. Just before we get started, just like to recognise, I know Claire has put a post in the group and we've put a post in for everybody in the Matrix group as well, but the VIP Midnight, I think you call them, bags, absolutely incredible to see so many names with so many VIPs on there, so absolutely incredible. I thought this was worth just taking a little time to recognise. I had a few queries, so if you're not in agreement with these numbers, please let us know. I think there's been a few that have said, actually, I've got more than that. I'm not sure whether
I've had to send off for a couple. Yeah, there is a couple.
Yeah, so do apologise if this is not accurate. It is what we're sent. So, but if you've got any questions, obviously speak to us or speak to Chris and Claire to make sure that they get it updated. So massive well done, first of all, to Angela Harris, 22 VIPs. That is just incredible. I think everybody should come on and give Angela a massive clap because that's just incredible. Woo! Woo! I think Angela needs to come on, and I think Angela's actually going to maybe do some training for us next week. So I think we maybe ask her some questions how she's doing so well with VIPs, because she's absolutely flying with those. And Jackie McCormick as well, absolutely incredible, 17 VIPs. So woo, incredible. We've got Brooke, I believe she's got 16, not 12. We've got Chris and Claire with 11. Ourselves, there's Nadia with 10. I think Danielle's is slightly different as well, is it, Claire? I think she's
10.
We've got Denise with 7, Rachel and James with 6, Anne Harad with 6, Zoe with 6, Jess with 6, Tom and Dan with 5, Anna Fernandez with 5, Myra with 5, Leanne with 5, Sarah with 5, Elaine and Kay with 5. Really excited to see. I know Kay is really very new in the business in Leslie's team, so I'm not sure about Elaine, but just great, isn't it, to see even brand new people coming on the charts. And this has been running since catalogue 14, runs to the end of catalogue 17. There is a criteria in place, as you can see. This is all on the website. But again, it's just incredible, isn't it? The incentives that the company offers, you know, do your work, but on top of that, we'll give you all of these freebies at the same time to help you and support you, and, you know, to dangle that carrot, because it's good to have a goal, a focus, you know, that activity, and then also the lovely reward that you get at the end of doing that. So, you know, absolutely incredible. I just thought that was well worth a little mention tonight before we get started. Okay, the slides are not moving. Oh, here we go. Okay, so if you are brand new, first of all, I would like to welcome you to the team. As you have probably seen, if you are already in our group, we have amazing leaders. We have such a fantastic group with a great whoops, it's moving on its own now. Philosophy of that we are stronger together, and there are so many people that are there to help and support and to bring the best out in you and really help you to reach your full potential. So, you know, make the most of that. We are here to help, and no question is ever too silly. You know, ask away and somebody somewhere will have the answers for you. Okay, so tonight's agenda, I'm going to be covering some training on the slight edge. I feel like this is a real kind of good time of year really to go through this. I think lots of people have been applying the slight edge to their businesses over the last 12 months and really sort of seeing the difference in that. So towards the end of the training, guys, I will be asking what slight edge decisions have you been making to help your business grow this year? So maybe have a little think about that as we go through tonight's training. But the slight edge for me, it is actually one of my favorite books. my copy here. This is a signed copy by Jeff Olson himself, who we were very, very privileged to meet when we went on a trip to New York. An absolutely amazing guy. And this philosophy is not just something that is relevant to our business, it's relevant to life. And I'm going to give you some life kind of situations to make it a little bit more maybe real. But it really is that secret ingredient. It's always about doing that one more thing that makes a massive difference to our success. And it's turning those simple disciplines into massive success. So here's a question for you. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have great success while others seem to struggle? Because often it's the things that we don't see happen that are making the biggest difference in people's businesses and lives. You see, those that are successful are simply using this thing called the slight edge. And what is the slight edge? So let's just have a little look at what we mean by the slight edge. The slight edge is all about choices. Now, I'm a really firm believer that our life is based on the decisions that we make. And it is all about the choices. We can choose to do things now, or we can choose to put things off till later. Those that choose to do things now are always going to be far more successful. And we've had some fabulous training over the year. One in particular that Claire shared with us, you know, this philosophy of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and how we put off that procrastination. So it's a simple positive action that's repeated over time. And as we know, that builds a compound effect of results. Or on another side of things, so if we look in the positives, it's the simple disciplines that over a period of time will grow our success level in any area in our lives. Or it's a simple error in judgment that's repeated over time. And you know what? As we start, where's my mouse? As we start here, we don't really see the impact of that. We don't really see the results, but over that period of time, we will see either falling down, or we'll see taking our level of success right up and off the scale. So the slight edge, the simple disciplines repeated over time will create success, while the simple mistakes repeated over time will create the failure. So some simple disciplines or mistakes. You brush your teeth every day. What are you told when you're a little tiny tot? You brush your teeth in the morning and you brush your teeth at night. And that's something that is very, very simple for us to do, isn't it? Now, if we do that every single day, we will get real positive results. So we have a lovely set of teeth, you know, all nice and shiny, no fillings. Now, if we decide, I can't really be bothered doing that today, and then one day turns into a couple of days a week, and then those other days turn into a couple more days, we don't see anything initially really happen. But over a period of time, this is there. Claire, look at your face. And these are the sorts of things that make us realise that until it gets to that point, and at that point it's too late, isn't it, to go back and make those simple habits that create a really positive result, or actually quite a negative result. And I think that's really quite profound, you know. And we do live in a society, don't we, where everybody wants it now. We're like this instant click society. The light switch goes on, we have it. You know, we have fast food, we drive into McDonald's, 2 minutes, we've got the food. And, you know, we haven't always got the patience to see things happen. In fact, we watch movies, don't we? And we see somebody go from, like, you know, some great films where, you know, they're in poverty, they're living on the streets, and then within 2 hours it's just this lovely happy ending with all of this success. Or, you know, likes of the Rocky films, he's training and it seems like he's only doing a few training sessions and all of a sudden he's a world champion. But you know what, in life, in reality, it takes more than 2 hours for those things to happen. You know, we hear of these overnight success stories, but what we don't see is what really is going on behind the scenes. You know, we're living in the future and someday we're thinking, my ship will come in. How many of you will say, you know, if only I win the lottery? Well, let me tell you, joining this business, you've got more than a lottery ticket in your hand, because you're not leaving your life to look and hope. You're taking those steps to take responsibility and put the actions into place to make you have that life that you could have if you won the lottery. I just think we have such an incredible opportunity, but what we have to remember is we are creating invisible results, whether they are going up or whether they are going down. And sometimes it's easy to have the cake and eat it, and we don't always see, do we, the results that are going to come. Because if we do that on a daily basis, this is ultimately where we're going to end up. So, how many of you think, I'm going to eat my first salad, and then you're like, I've not got my 6-pack, I've not lost my 2 stone, you know, it's only been a day. We know that one of the biggest things is time, commitment and activity. Here's another one for you. After one gym session, you think, why am I not looking like that? You see, the secret ingredient is time. And one of the things that's really important to understand in our business is that things take time, and you have to be patient. You have to see your business grow. You have to have the blind faith and the belief that if others can do it, then you can do it too. So I've got another question for you. What would you choose now? Well, let me just open the chat up now. What would you choose now? A penny doubled every day for 31 days or £1 million now? Be great, wouldn't it, to have £1 million paid into your bank just like that? Oh, lots of you are saying penny doubled. I think you maybe heard this. And I think this is a really good example to show how the compound effect just builds. And this is about your activity doing the same. You see, a penny a day doubled at the end of week 1, you'll have 64p in the bank. And at the end of week 2, you'll now have £81.92p. Not going to break the bank at this stage, is it? But you know what? That keeps doubling. And now at the end of week 3, you've got £5,242 in the bank. Let's have a look. Day 28, you've passed the £1 million mark. Incredible. So you've waited, you've been patient, you've watched the compound effect, and now you've got the same. But let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing that activity. The compound, day 29's passed and there's 2.5 million in your bank. 30, day 30, we've got 5 million in the bank. Was it worth waiting for? Was it worth doubling that activity? Day 31, and you have over £10 million in your bank. And I think this is just a really good example of showing how the compound, that doubling up, you know, and that's all we have to do. We have to think about the compound effect over time and how that has an impact and an effect. And being patient, because when we are patient, we will end up with more. You see, the positive slight edge choices that we can make in our business is we can decide, you know, to go and do the activities. For example, for those of you that maybe do cards and flyers, we can decide to do them. Or if we were to do 100 cards and flyers a day, over time, that one activity would be 36,400 in a year. You see, that 100, that little bit of activity, it's not a lot. It's, you know, it may seem a lot, but if you do that consistently and persistently, and we talk about that in the business all of the time, don't we, about doing that activity on a daily basis and what will happen at the end of the year, the impact that that has. An extra 5 shop ads a week. Over the year, that's 260 a year. Now, if you were asked to go and do 260, you probably wouldn't think there's enough shops to go and do that. But it's just, again, that compound effect of doing these things on a weekly activity. Doing an extra 50 catalogues a week. That's 2,600 more catalogues going out of over the year. Do you think you're going to find more customers if you start to cover those sorts of numbers? We've done over, God, I can remember when we were going out cataloguing with Chris and Claire, and we did 4,000 in 10 days, do you remember? So, you know, it's just them bite-sized chunks of activity that we do, again, the persistency and the consistency that build over that period of time. The extra posts, the adverts, the lives, the messages, all of the activities that we do to build our business, the long drives that we haven't had the opportunity to do this year, but that time of spending going along to meetings. What about phoning back customers and team members or prospects? You know, we can put it off and we can not do it, but if we do 1 a day, 2 a day, 3 a day, and we make that our activity plan, just think about the volume over the year. What about going back to pick up those straggler catalogues? We can make that decision. I can't be bothered, or we go back and do it, don't we? And you know what? Some of our best customers are in our straggler catalogues for sure. Attending those events and having that positive association. You know, we're so fortunate these days to have the online events. You know, you don't even have to go out of your house and you can join in. But you know what? We can make a choice to make that time and make a commitment and have that positive association. That over time, you will keep picking up nuggets of information, top tips, light bulb moments, things that will happen through that training that will mean things just start coming out your mouth that you didn't even understand at first, but the more confident you come, the faster your business grows, as we know. And this for me is a really important one, because you know what, this is so easy to do and it's so easy not to do. And it is about our commitment to ourselves for our personal development. 10 pages a day is nothing. And you know, if you were asked to read 12 books in a year, or you might think that's so, you know, too much. At the moment, I'm so addicted to my Audibles. I'm on a book a week at the moment. I've got this other app. I just can't get enough information. And you know, when you're hungry to learn, you're ready to take your business to the next level. Because I tell you something, your business will not grow until you grow yourself. And everybody that you speak to, all of the leaders will say, as you grow and develop, your check will grow alongside you. You know, we can follow the system or we can make things difficult. The system is there for us. But the question to ask yourself is, what are you doing when nobody's watching? And it is about ourselves, holding ourselves accountable for these little activities that if we do, will make the biggest difference in your business. You see, or it's about making those errors in judgment, because we could be watching TV and we think, oh, it's only 3 hours a day. Do you know what? You've lost over 1,000 of your hours in a year. You know what that equates to? 1.5 months. You'll never get that time back. And that time put into your business would make such a massive difference. I know for me and Andrew, when we first joined network marketing, this is one of the things that we decided. We were told, you know, if you want to make more time, find more time for your business. And it's one of the things that we stopped. We stopped watching television. We stopped wasting our time. And we put that time into our business and the difference that that will make. The internet, you know, we can get ourselves lost in Facebook, can't we? Facebook is an amazing business tool if we're using it for business, because it's so easy to pick your phone up, think about doing a post and start going, oh, what are they saying and what they doing and and then you start scrolling through and all of a sudden you've lost your time. You know, if you are on Facebook, use it to build your business. Make sure your time's allocated for business income producing activities at all times. And our time management, you know, going and running errands, doing things for other people, you know, we're helping people. Sometimes it's about saying no and saying, right now, I have my dreams, I have my goals, I have my heart's desires, I'm worth this, and I am going to put me and my business first. And you know what, not making that call, thinking, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll put it off, what are they going to say? You know what, just make that call, because you do not know who's going to join your business tomorrow. In the next hour, you don't know who's going to join. So don't put those things off and stop making excuses, because it will matter. You know, we can all make excuses up. We can all find things that we can use as an excuse, but stop making those excuses, because it will matter. And self-development, you know, if you say, I've not got the time for self-development, let me tell you, 15 minutes a day is all you need. 15 minutes a day. I've been reading a great book from, what's his name? Big Al. This is a brilliant book about just using that 15 minutes a day. You can build a network marketing business, but it's 15 minutes a day of self-development that is going to give you the confidence, the belief. It's going to give you the knowledge. It's going to make so much difference in your business. It's just too hard to explain. You know, having that bad, lazy attitude, you know, thinking it's, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow and I'll find something else to do. You see, we can decide to stop making excuses, to stop comparing our journey to others, and to stop looking for the secret. Our slight edge choices are to track our activity and our results, because we know when we track our activity and results, that's when we'll be fully focused on what we need to do. It's just like, I was just speaking to Claire, and Claire's just been explaining she's got a half stone award. Now I bet Claire's tracking her food. You're doing Slimming World at the moment, Claire. I bet you're tracking everything that you're eating right now, everything that you're doing. And when you're doing that, it stops you from having the snacks and the things and making sure that you're eating proper meals, because you're tracking your activity, and your results will come from doing that, won't they? And it's just like that in the business, you know, when we have our activity and we track our activity and we know that we're doing the right activities and we start seeing that we're getting the results, that's when momentum starts building. When we've got that clear focus and we know what our goals are, we know what it is that we want, we know what's driving us, and we've got that clarity of where we're going and what it is that we are going to achieve. We're going to create that massive team synergy, the excitement, the team contacts, you know, the messages, the text, the recognition. And when we get the opportunity, having those sizzles to build that team synergy that we have. And we can choose to work harder on ourselves more than anything else. And you know what is a really good choice to have as well, is to have fun and enjoy the journey. Because you know what, when you get excited about your business, when you have a passion for your business, that shines through. But when people can see it's fun and they can see you enjoying that journey, you won't even have to ask people to join your team. They'll just want to be a part of the fun and the enjoyment that they see you having on your journey. You see, our slight edge choices is to see our business built, and see is not to see our business built, it's to see what we can be and not what it is right now. You know, if you are in your business right now and you're at platinum, see your business built at director, gold director, sapphire director, where it is that you want to be, because it is ultimately up to you. It's about making those decisions. And I truly believe that your life is a result of the choices that you make. So what slight edge choices can you start to make from today that will impact a huge positive impact on your life? I'm just going to hand over now. Has anybody got anything that they would like to share that they have done this year that they feel has made a huge positive impact on your business and on your life? It's not just about our business, because as I said, the slight edge can make a massive difference in our life all round. I'm just going to get a drink.
There you go. So for me this year, I kind of got back into stuff as well that I wasn't doing. So like a couple of years ago when we were having success in another company, I was doing certain things that I kind of lost a bit when I moved over, with all different things going on and learning new ways. And it is just simple stuff, but it's massively impacted. So going back to writing my goals down every night, which I had stopped doing, going back to doing things like that, going back to all my sleep affirmations, going back to writing my gratitude lists, all the manifestation stuff that you kind of, I knew it worked, but then you just kind of lose it a little bit and think other things are important at the time. And just by turning it back around and getting back on all this little stuff, that's so easy to do, but so easy not to do. And I know that's had a massive help to me. It's definitely shifted things in so many ways. But I think it puts you in a better frame of mind as well. And it makes you much more focused on what you want too, because I had definitely got to a point where I didn't even know what it was I was wanting. I didn't even know what I was pushing for. It was like, yeah, I'm doing this, but what do I want? And I had kind of got a bit lost with that. And it's definitely helped me decide what it is I want and to keep it on in your focus all the time. It's there all the time. It's, definitely something that's working. Also, on one of the trainings that I was on, they've said, and it got said a couple of times, and I've heard it a million times, but for some reason it hit me this time. And it was like, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I'd never really thought about it before. And then I thought, it's so true. So in some ways where you might be sloppy in things, you might not think it's important because it might not be anything to do with the business. But actually, having the, what's the word, being stricter with yourself to make sure everything's done better, it just kind of rubs off on everything. Same with me wanting to lose weight and eat healthier, eating better. And it's like, I've been doing Slimming World on and off for flipping years and years and years. Mm-hmm. And I get a week in, 2 weeks in, and then I give up when I don't get instant results. But I've kind of just got to this point where it's like, I don't care what the results are every week. I know that if I am eating better over the next year, this time next year, I will be thinner. And that's all that matters. And it's the same with everything. So all the little things that I might have rushed, even an example, little things like my skincare routine. Okay, I've always done the skincare, but sometimes I'd skip the night time. Or sometimes when I'm in a rush, I'd just do, and it got to a point where it's like, I keep saying to myself all the time, over and over again, all the time, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I've got to get everything spot on with what I'm doing if I want everything else to. Do you know what I mean? I think it's easy to skip through stuff. And it's it's just massively helped me this year, really, really has.
I think it's really important as well to have, you know, all areas of your life in balance, because if you're achieving in your business, but actually your marriage is falling apart, your kids are a nightmare, your health's not in a good place, and you know, what's the point in achieving all of these things in your business if your life's not in balance, isn't it? So I know for me, one of the things that I've really looked at, and I've always been quite driven on family goals and things like that. And actually, I've been probably quite selfish in some ways.
Oh, you're back now. Sorry, you were talking. I could see your face was talking, but there was no internet. I think it was me. It's just come up my thing saying your internet's unstable. It must have been me. Sorry.
Lost my train of thought now.
Sorry.
Sometimes it's about maybe stepping back from where you are and really looking at getting some clear clarity on, you know, you can be, I was listening to something, actually, I've been listening to a really good book by Marissa Peers, and it says, it's called I Am Enough. And sometimes it's you know, we have to, especially when we're a mum and we've got a family, and we tend to put those first, don't we? But sometimes we have to take a step back and look at what it is we want. And, you know, and we often do things because the kids want them and all of those things. But one of the things that she was saying is, you know, we can feel in our lives that we might feel we're achieving, but actually in our lives, do we feel fulfilled? And is it, you know, are we satisfied with all of those other things in our lives? Are we getting that good balance and things? And you know, and having that confidence to say, you know what, I am enough for this business. I am enough. There's some really good chapters. I would really strongly recommend that book to anybody that is maybe dealing with any confidence issues. You know, I've really struggled this year. I've got to be honest with you. I've really struggled the last 2.5 years. We've had a number of real personal challenges, and it's knocked my confidence to the wall. You know, I'll be honest, I've paid for a counsellor. I know I had a total breakdown 5 years ago. A lot of you have heard that story. And I invested at that time £450 to go see a Thrive consultant, because I knew I needed help. At that stage, I needed some help. And that help has been tremendous. And then there's been some other challenges that have come along. And without that being in place, I don't know how I would have coped. I don't know how I would have coped without friends and family and that support around us. And it's just part of that journey. It's part of how I believe our challenges are what makes us stronger. Our challenges are what puts us on the right path. It's made us think about a lot of things this year, you know, what is really important and what the goals really are in your life. And I think sometimes we have to go through those things to make that become a reality, to make that more real. And, you know, if you want to take yourself to the next level, it is that commitment of personal development, but not just listening to it. It's about putting it in place as well, isn't it? So, you know, it is really difficult. I'm just dead excited. I haven't told anybody about this, but I've just, I'm going to have next year just committed to having a high performance coach that's going to help me and support me. And I'm really wanting to have, I really feel like I'm ready. And, you know, they say when you're ready, the teacher comes along, you know, when the student is ready. And I'm really excited about that, you know, and if you're struggling right now, just delve into personal development and help that support you. You know, go and look for those answers that you need to help you understand you, because when you understand you, there'll be no stopping you. I strongly believe that, you know, when you've got that focus and you know what it is you want in your life, then Tracy's just popped up there. It's Marissa Peers who wrote I Am Enough. It's on Audibles, so it's really good, a really good one that I listened to quite recently. There's some really good things in there. But you know what? I know a number of the team have really committed this year to their personal development journey, to the law of attraction, the manifestation, the affirmations, the reading the books. And you know what? You probably can't see it from the inside, but we can see it from the outside. the amount of development and the confidence and the growth that we've seen with our team this year because of your commitment to that personal development. And if out of anything, make that slight edge decision to commit 15 minutes a day. You can listen in the car on the journey to work. You can listen whilst you're cooking tea. There is no excuses, as far as I'm concerned, for not having personal development in your life. It really, really does. And we're quite passionate about this because it really will make such a difference. It really, really will. Make that commitment. Audibles, I'm listening to a book a week on Audibles at the moment. Like I say, I've got that many different books. This is the High Performance Habits. This is Brandon Burchard. This is the program that I'm going to be starting in January, so I'll be really excited to share some of that stuff with you. But make that commitment to invest in yourself and go on that journey, because self-discovery will enlighten you as to where you can take yourself. And anything is possible when you want to. And you've got to want it first, though. You've got to find that place. So, okay, so there was a couple of comments up here. Sorry, I went off on one a bit then. Sorry. Okay, so Danielle's just shared, I don't know whether you want to come on, Danielle, but she's worked really hard, and I know you've worked really hard on your personal development. Danielle, in particular, you absolutely shining this year, your podcast, your meditation, every single night without fail, and reading much more personal development. And we've seen that you've been sharing that and seeing that come through with you. I don't know whether you want to come on and share anything, Danielle.
Yeah, before, I can't say personal development was ever a thing for me. Like, I don't know, it was just never, it was always the case of just be strong and deal with it and get on with life. Life's life. Things happen, you just got to get through it. That's kind of the person I always was. And I remember it was actually Jo, because I know she did a lot of trainings on that kind of thing. She's really, really into it, isn't she? For anybody that knows Jo, remembers her. Nice. It was kind of her. I sent her one message and she actually just said to me, I've been waiting for you to come to me. She goes, I could see a lot of you, I could see a lot of me in you, and I have been waiting. I didn't want to approach you because it needs to be on your terms. And then she got me in things like The Secret. She sent me a couple of other books out, told me different podcasts, and honestly, just something so simple like watching and reading The Secret. It's like something just suddenly clicked and it changed, and it made me feel more positive, literally from like the inside out, and see everything from a different perspective. And now get to a point now where I can read that book or I'm listening to it and I know the words that's come in, and I've listened to it that many times, and I just borrow the book continuously from the library. And I was so happy I borrowed it in March, so I had it all through lockdown, did not have to take it back at all. I was absolutely chuffed, and I read it again and again and again. And I feel like if I ever need a pick-me-up, that's my go-to. But then since then now, I've bought so many different personal development books. I feel a bit guilty if I read a normal book. I don't read normal books now, because I just think I could be spending my time reading something that's helping me, instead of just reading some chick lit, which is all I would use to read, which probably actually sometimes breaks my heart a little bit more because I get so into it. So now I do the opposite. I try and read something that I know it's going to pick me up, and I can bore the brains of James sometimes, which is laid in bed and reading something. I get excited about something and I share it with him, and he's looking at me like okay, because I just kind of have to share my excitement, or I'm like, oh, did you know this? Did you know this? Did you know this could help? And I just found that real buzz for it. And I can tell when I don't do it, I do slip back down. I feel like I have to really help myself every day to stay above board, because I think since having postnatal depression and stuff, it's almost like it's embedded in me now a little bit, where depression just creeps up on me a bit more than I would like. So if I didn't have personal development, I would hate to think where I was, to be honest. I know I wouldn't be in a very strong, happy place like I am now.
Oh, that's so lovely.
I don't think people kind of understand just how powerful it really can be.
I don't think you can understand until you go on that journey, and obviously I'm part of that journey, and it's taking them weeds out because they keep coming back, and we just have to, it's the weed killer, isn't it? Taking them weeds out, taking them weeds, because things sneak back in. And it's really interesting because I'm dead into kind of the mindset stuff, and and our conditioning and how we've been brought up, and how that can impact our subconscious mind, and how we like to think that consciously we're a positive person, but actually our behaviors are that of a very negative person. And people will say to you all day long, no, I'm a really positive person. And they'll go, oh, have you seen that? And you're like, well, not actually a really positive person, are you? You might think you are, but positive development almost rewires our brain to overcome some of that conditioning, so that we can, you know, work more sort of on autopilot with positivity, that gratitude, that positive mindset, where we are starting to naturally look for the best in things instead of the worst in things. So, you know, people say I'm really positive, but they'll go, oh God, there's out of stocks again, and what am I going to do, and all that. And it's not looking at that, is it? It's looking at, you know, how we work around that, and sort of letting that move on, and all of those things that we know are so important when we are self-employed. You know, you are your own boss, and, you know, you've got to step up and be that boss, haven't you? And that's not always easy, you know, especially if we've had maybe some conditioning when we've been younger, where we've been told you're not good enough, you're never going to make it, you know, and all of those things are deeply embedded somewhere in our head. And we think, I'm not worth it, I'm never going to have this. And yet you can prove to yourself that you can, and you're definitely proving that you are. So thank you so much for sharing that, Danielle. And I think it is absolutely, it's one of the most rewarding things I think about the business, is when you see people growing and developing in confidence, as well as growing their business at the same time, and being able to share that with others, and being able to share that knowledge. Because I think we can have this ripple effect in the world, where we can have that positivity ripple out onto other people's lives, be it our team or our customers. And I think, you know, that's the slight edge and the difference that we can make in the world. And I think it's really important. So, but thank you so much for sharing that with us. Elizabeth put joining proclamation last year. I bought myself 2021 planner with the dreams cards, listening to manifestation videos, and I meant to join Profane. I'm not quite sure what that is. I don't know whether you're on, Elizabeth, and you want to share with us. Okay, so I'm not sure who. Okay, I think Bev. Bev, do you want to share something with us? Just trying to look.
Yes, please. Yes, please, Helen. As you know, I've always done a lot with mindset, but I did feel myself drifting this year with one thing and another. Towards the end of September, October, I decided to do a 21-day whispering master course. Okay. Yeah, which I found really, really interesting. But I found it's harnessed me, it's centered me. And basically, it was just every day I'd receive an email, and there'd be a couple of minutes meditation. But there was different parts, you know, of finding your, can't think of the word, finding your symbol, setting your goals, visualizing your goals, and it's practicing gratitude, and also I got an app. And I still use it now every single day. It teaches you how to find the signs from the universe, and to say, you know, give that gratitude back. So I found it really good, because I'm now, whatever I do, I've opened myself up a little bit. I'm more open, I'm more receptive to things, and I learn every day, even now, you know, and I've done it today, about the symbols and what certain things mean. I'm just reading some of let's have a look. But yeah, I found it really, really interesting, and it just sort of opened my eyes up a bit. And every day I do the gratitude, if something, whatever happens every day, I've got on my app, I can give thanks to the universe. So I'll do a dear universe. I was journaling as well, how my day went, what signs I saw, what I thought those signs meant to me. And I found it really, really interesting. I have literally carried it on. And now every day I look to do some meditation. I only do about 5 minutes, but I find it centers me. And sometimes when I feel, we all have a bad day, don't we? Yep. And something happens and your confidence can knock. Now I'm like, I sit down and I will do the meditation to bring myself back. And yeah, I'm actually just loving it. I'll just have another little read, but yeah, I'm just loving learning about the universe, and I do think that, yeah, it is when you open yourself up and you're positive, as well as doing everything else. So I've been doing that every day, and also Paul and I have been listening to The Greatest Networker. It's quite deep. I know it's not for everybody, but we've been listening to it on Audible. Mm-hmm. And I've been finding, and that's just been this week. He's been listening to it for a little while and I just couldn't get into it. But this week I actually sat down, I did a meditation and I thought, right, let's sit down, let's see if I can get into it. So, yeah, we've been getting, I've slowly been getting into that as well. And yeah, so I'm learning a lot more every day about manifestation and everything. So yes, that's what I've done, and it's been great.
Brilliant, thanks.
Sorry. Oh yeah, and we've been doing my mind movies as well.
Brilliant. And I think it's funny, you've just kind of hit the nail on the head with personal development, because sometimes you can pick a book up and it doesn't connect with you.
Yeah.
And you find something that just, I don't know, has a meaning, it connects with you, it's the reader's story somehow connects with you, their past, or it's just something. But then once you kind of get that, then you get an addiction almost for more knowledge and more information, and you want the next thing, and how can you become better at this, and how can you look at that more, and how can you find out more. And I think it's a hunger for knowledge, and once you get that hunger for knowledge to become better as a person, we see that growth and development, don't we? And you almost see people becoming so addicted to personal development. It's like, you want more, I want to find this out, I want to know more about this. So, and it is really important. So, but it is sometimes finding that one thing that kind of opens the doors up and just things come into place for you. So
yeah,
you've obviously found something that's worked really well for you.
Yeah, it's worked. Yeah, it's definitely worked for me. But yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm looking to see if I can find another course very similar, but I've really enjoyed it, and it's keeping me every day. I get up, and I'm on a routine, and I'm doing it, and I'm doing the gratitude and the meditation, and yeah, it's only 20 minutes a day, but it sets me up for the rest of the day then, and hopefully give. Yeah, 20 minutes.
And if you compound that over the year, when you think about you on your life, the difference that's going to make at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Oh. But you want to say something? Yeah.
It's something that we picked up on the Fraser Brooks thing. It's a thing that it's a website that you go to, and it's called futureme.org. And what you do is you go on it, and you write an email to you for the future, and you set the date that you want it to come. So it could come in 12 months, 5 years, 10 years, whatever you want to do. A few of us in the team did do it for 12 months time. Kind of along the lines of, I'm so proud of myself that I've achieved this, I'm earning this, I feel like that, all different things. But it's free, and nobody sees the email, only you. So you can write whatever you want in it. And I just think it's something to kind of like keep you on track and keep you pushing, because when you receive that email next year, you want to feel they're proud, don't you? You don't want to be like, gutted or whatever. And it's something that stays there in the back of your mind, that even though it'll probably end up being a surprise when it comes, because you'll kind of forget when about. And when it comes, it'll probably really cheer you up. But you'll always have in the back of your mind that you want to achieve what's on that message. But yeah, it's called futureme.org, and like I say, it's completely free and nobody sees it. There's a setting where you can have your email public if you want it to be, but it just comes direct back to you next year or whenever you want it to come back. So I just thought I'd share for anyone that wants to give it a go.
Oh no, that's really good. The thing is, these days there's so many tools out there, isn't there, that you can use the online, and there's so much free stuff as well. I mean, invest in yourself with all of the free stuff, and then if you want to then apply for other things, the Manifestation Magic is an incredible program, and it's not much at all to subscribe to that. There are so many programs out there that you can use, but it's finding one that kind of works for you. Sometimes you listen to somebody's voice on some of these audibles and you're like, I can't listen to that because I can't listen to their voice. Actually, the book might be really, really good, but sometimes as well as that connection over voices and maybe accents and things like that we have to be aware of. And you just got to find something that fits with you, my counsellor lady, she also did some hypnotherapy with me. She had such a calming voice, and she helped me tremendously at the beginning of last year, just rejuggle things, rethink things, and it's sometimes those are the things that you need to have. You just need to go find the right support for you at different times in our life. Zoe has commented, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, Zoe, but you read 2 to 3 books a week to overcome post-traumatic stress disorder. Sometimes when we are stuck, we're trying to find answers to things. And I don't know, Zoe, I don't know you particularly well. I would love to find out more about you. Maybe one day you can come and share your story with us on here. I think if we go through some traumatic things in our lives, we're often in search of answers, how we can make those things better, or how we can come to terms with things. And sometimes these books are a massive help. I know for me, when I went through Thrive with Rob Kelly, that is a book that you can buy from Amazon. It's not a personal development book. It is actually a book that really looks at you, and you have to ask yourself some real questions and really take on board those things. I did the book. It's more of a workbook. And then I went along and actually went through that with a Thrive consultant a number of years ago, which was an incredible experience. And it really did help me to understand why I was thinking the things I was thinking, and how I could change the way I was thinking, and the different strategies that they give you. I think somebody's mentioned in here as well about cognitive behavior therapy. That's an incredible therapy to help us to change and rewire some of those maybe negative thoughts or our habits that have been created over a period of time. You know what? I strongly believe that at any point when you want to change, you can change your life. And one of the significant things that I found is this inner belief that if for things to change, I must change. If I'm not happy right now, the only person that can do something about that is you, isn't it? So, and if you really want to, you'll find a way of how to do that. And personal development is one of the keys to that. Okay, I don't know whether I can read that. So I don't know whether Zoe's on and you want to share anything. Anybody else wants to?
Yeah, I am on.
Okay.
I am on. So about maybe 5 years ago, I had a breakdown, and it was post-traumatic stress. I'd lost my mum and watched her go through a horrific time. I had a little boy, and he was premature and quite difficult, and it sort of manifested that he may be on the spectrum. And I felt like I got to a point I was so desperate because I didn't know how I was going to overcome all these things. So I just started doing little things like listening to audio books at every opportunity. Like when I was in the house, I just put my earphones in and it would stop my negative sort of thoughts. I went and got therapy as well, and I read a lot of books. Like The Secret, I'd read all those, and I'd read Law of Attraction, and I kept thinking what I'm thinking is what's coming to me. And when I wasn't in a good place, I had to sort of find a way to stop that happening in my mind. And I went to cognitive behavioural therapy. I mean, I really worked on myself for a long time, but I'm a completely different person now, and I'm a lot happier. You know, and then I came along to Oriflame, and I can't believe they're all into The Secret and the Law of Attraction. It's just, I said to Sylvia in the beginning, I said, when I read all those kind of things, I knew it was right for me. And the team's so supportive. So I think surrounding yourself with the right people as well, you know, and sort of letting toxic people go, and people that were quite negative. So I kind of did all that at the same time. And then ended up with an illness that I'm going to have the rest of my life. But I realised you don't need anything outside yourself to be happy, but if you're achieving different things, it sort of helps build you back up again. And I did start small, you know, but I was losing my business. You know, everything was going against me, and my little boy was getting severely bullied at school. And I felt like I was just constantly fighting. But, you know, the more you search, like, and you start getting in tune with your books and things, you start changing, and it's like I'm a different person now. And I'm glad I've kind of, in a way, went through the experiences I've got, because I've helped a lot of people. You know, I use it to sort of what I've learned through the years to sort of start them off. I'm a hairdresser, so I talk to a lot of people, and it's sort of the differences it's made in other people's lives. I think, well, at least that's something positive come out of a negative. You know, and that's the way I always try. I just always try and find a bit of happiness every day. Doesn't matter how small it is. That's how I started, and then it just got easier and easier. And I never thought I'd ever get over what I'd seen, you know, but I did, and I can live with it now. And I focus on the good that came out of that, and more the good things that happened when my mum was ill, how our relationship changed for the better. So, you know, it's not always, it seems that everything outside you is negative, and everything's against you, but you change it. It's like a shift in perspective, I think. I think that was the main thing. It was just like, I just sort of changed that way, and nothing outside me had changed, but I did. Yeah. So that, you know, you just try to find what works for yourself, you know.
It is.
That's how I did it.
Thank you, Zoe, for sharing that, because it's quite personal, but
yeah,
challenges sometimes are those stepping stones, aren't they, that put us on
a
path that you maybe wouldn't have gone on before that happened. And, you know, but, you know, absolutely, you know, so well done to you, because we can sit there and dwell, or we can try and do something about it. And you've obviously worked extremely hard at becoming a better person and finding the answers. And, you know, it's just incredible to hear how the personal development has, you know, made that impact and changed your life, but not just your life, the people that come into contact with you as well. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Well, thanks for listening.
I don't know if there's any. I'm trying to look through the message. I don't think I can read half of these out, because I get quite emotional at times. I don't want to miss anybody out. If there's anybody that wants to jump on. Oh, Linda's just put, thanks Claire for making me realise something. I do love Oriflame, but I have no actual vision of where I want to be and where I want to go with the business. Time for some self-direction, less negative doings that stop me getting to where I want to go. That has to be what I decide, where I want to go. Well done, Linda. Okay, Danielle's recommended a book as well, Fern Cotton's 3 books are amazing. They're all workbooks as well, and they come in different categories to what you want to do. So work on calm and happy, and they're fab for beginners. to work on. Thank you for that, Danielle. I've never actually seen Ferg Cotton's book, so I'll have a look at them myself. Jesus, there's 27 messages here. We try and get through some of these. I don't know who Hawaii P20 is. You're sharing some things that have gone on there, and that you found your cognitive behavior therapy very helpful and inspirational. Different ways of thinking about things. Okay, guys, so I hope that has helped somewhat tonight. I think if nothing else, I would suggest your slight edge change for whenever you decide would be really to commit to that personal development journey, because we've seen so many people, the changes and the difference that it makes in your life is absolutely huge. We've been, I think, probably one of the bestest things about the journey that we've been on with Oriflame and Clean Easy, our previous business, is the opportunity to become a part of a self-development journey. I don't think we would have ever exposed ourselves to self-development books. In fact, I'm not a reader. I don't even read novels or love stories or anything. I'm not a reader. I love my audibles. I love books though. I do love books because I like to see things. I like to really digest that information. And I think when you become addicted to learning more about yourself and that self-discovery, that journey, then, you know, the more you learn about what it is that you actually want in life, you know, we can end our life with so much regret, but we can end our life knowing that we've done the best that we could for ourselves and our family and leave that legacy behind, can't we? That we've made an impact on everybody's lives that we've come into contact with. And we can only do that when we learn about ourselves and we learn about others as well. So my suggestion would be, if you make any slight edge decisions in your life and in your business, it will be to make that commitment. 10 or 15 minutes a day, guys. The compound effect of that over the next year will be absolutely incredible, as you've already heard from so many tonight. You know, it's these small disciplines. What did we say? It's these small disciplines that will make a massive success. So I hope that has helped tonight. My voice is going now. I really do hope that's helped. I would like to thank those of you that have shared on here as well tonight. So thanks, Danielle, thanks, Zoe, thanks, Claire, and those of you that have shared in the chat. I'm sure you've all been reading through. We've all go on our own life journey, don't we? We all have our own challenges, but it really is up to us how we deal with that, how we move forward, and how we can make a difference in our lives and others. So go do that to the best of your ability and, you know, go make things happen. Our opportunity is merely a opportunity for you to use that to help you to get to where you want in life. And it gives so many tick boxes in achievement and fulfillment and helping others and that personal development journey. It's not just about selling products. This business is far more than that. It's our team, it's our family, and it's watching others succeed. And I think that, you know, that is just an incredible business and an incredible journey to be a part of as well. So I'll go now before I start getting a bit too emotional. Oh, I think we're on for good timing as well.